Alright, this is going to be a big video. Now, this video is going to talk about one thing that I hold near and dear to my heart. As somebody who does this particular thing but overall hates it but still does it because they know the benefit of it, this video, this one is very near and dear to me. Now, the universal hack, you guys know what that is, the ability to take over a device with another device, and that device allows you to take over any other device, pretty much. That's what it's been known as, it's what it's usually seen as in TV. Now, I'm going to apply that in a figurative way to this point that I'm about to make. The universal hack of being, I was going to say being a man, that was going to be what this video was generalized about, but overall it's being a human being. But I guess this is really more for men. I'm not going to say it's more for men, but you see it predominantly in men, is being in shape. Being in, not phenomenal, but just athletic, good shape. And when I say not phenomenal, I don't mean like not peak shape. I mean not like a bodybuilder. Just a nice, lean, athletic physique. That, as a man, will take you so far. It is literally the universal hack. It will help you with women. It will help you with your job. It will help you with wearing certain clothing. It'll help you with overall respect from other men. And it'll just make you look like a disciplined, overall driven, high testosterone, person. Someone who's ready to get after it. And let me break those down now. The women aspect. What girl doesn't want a guy who plays a sport? What girl does not want a guy who, when he takes his shirt off, people look at him and go, wow, what sport does your boyfriend play? What sport does he play? Even if you don't play a sport, all you do is train, with weights or calisthenics or what have you, it's good to be perceived as someone who plays a sport, someone who knows how to be, someone very athletic. And it's also a bonus when, your significant other is asked about you in that regard a lot too. It makes them proud, it makes them want to show you off even more. And overall, women just, they like a nice body. I know the dad bod trend is a thing, the dad bod, that's what women desire, when in reality it's not what women desire. The reason women say they desire the dad bod is, one, because they don't want to be, rejected by men. They don't want to be told that they're like, materialistic or overall like shallow, so they'll hide their real interests. And two, if they say they like the dad bod, it's not because they desire it. They like it because that is the person who is safe. That is the safe choice because that person has no other options. Now, back to, your work life. I believe that that is a major benefit when it comes to being in shape, because of the fact that when you're in shape, you have this leader-like presence to you. You have this role that you're not a follower, simply because of the fact that you're literally going over the heads of the masses and becoming something that most people don't become. So in a way, you're physically, if there was ever a way to show someone I'm not a follower, it's literally to get in really good shape. Because that literally shows people, hey, well, you're sitting there working your 9 to 5 at a computer for 8 to 10 hours a day. I'm going to take time after that when you're tired from work and go home, and I'm going to go run for 30 minutes to an hour, or I'm going to go do calisthenics, or I'm going to lift weights. And it just shows that you're someone who has literal energy after work. How many of you go home after work and are just like, oh, I'm tired, and you drink and you sit down and you watch TV and you fall asleep? What is that? That's so stupid and it's so worthless to me. Get after it as soon as you get home. As soon as you get home, get on that pull-up bar, lift those weights, go for a run, do whatever it takes, do it as soon as you get home so you don't have the excuse of I'm tired, because I guarantee you when you finish it, you will feel phenomenal. And that goes back to the work thing. First of all, it shows that you're high energy because you have energy afterwards, to do these physical attributes. Two, it shows that you're in control, because obviously someone who takes care of themselves is more likely to be in control of a situation than somebody who doesn't take care of themselves, because of the sharpness, overall focus, confidence, etc. It shows that you're, you have a good frame, you're somebody who's reliable, because, like I said, if you show up for yourself, chances are you're going to show up for your job. If you show up for yourself physically, you're going to show up for the money, spirit, metaphorically, So it just shows a reliability. And overall, it just shows that, like I said, you're somebody who's a main character. You're somebody who's highly respected and overall like somebody who your boss looks at and is like, yeah, I'm proud I hired that person. And I know jobs can't legally say they hire someone over looks because that's like a sexism thing, but if your boss wants to show, like, for example, let's say you work a blue collar job, right? And your boss wants to show the customer that he has his A team on it, that he has his best guy on it, you're probably going to be the guy one of the guys who he sends to that particular job, even if you're not as like savvy with the tools or overall building or overall moving of objects. You look the part. You look like you're somebody who's good at that. And that is honestly just as valuable as somebody who is good at it. Presentation is everything. Presentation is key. And so that's another perfect example. Third point, when it comes to men respecting you. We'll do the close one after this, but when it comes to men respecting you, overall, other men may not like say it, but they look at men who have a good physique and they, desire to be like that person and they desire to have that body that that person has built up. I remember watching this one clip of this TikToker, and I think I mentioned this in a previous video, but he's like running and he's like a guy in really good shape. He's, talking about how he's going for a run and he's going for a run in his neighborhood and he sees this guy with this Mustang. It's like a really nice car, and I guess the TikToker was a car guy. And so he's admiring this. It's this like 60-year-old guy smoking a cigar, total, mafioso, rich boss guy. And anyway, this guy is running and he's looking over admiring this guy's car, and he realizes that the old man in the car who's smoking the cigar sees him admiring the car, but instead of looking at him like with this like sense of proud, like, yeah, like look at my car, he looks at the guy, and the TikToker says he has like this sense of longing in his eyes, like in a sense that like the look that I had when I was looking at the car is the look that he had when he was looking at me, and I didn't understand it. And when he realized I was looking at him, he kind of snapped out of it and drove away. And the TikToker goes on to state that after the guy drove away, he didn't really understand why the guy was looking at him like that, and he just so happened to, I guess, go past a mirror or look down or something, and he realized, wait a minute, I'm in phenomenal shape. That guy has all like that money and that nice car and whatever, but he's not in like phenomenal shape. Nor there's a possibility, not to say it's true, but there's a possibility that that guy either one misses being in that good of shape or was never in that good of shape in his life, and hence the money. But it just goes to show that like a physical, healthy, really tight in shape body can like literally curve someone who has like abundance and wealth, because true wealth is health. And if you're somebody with all the money in the world and you're fat or overweight or just not in good shape, you're gonna desire that for yourself. And it's like, it's in a way, it's like why you never see rich people who keep like that athletic, like that good-looking person, that right, like athletic, in shape, good-looking person around them. It's because they desire that for themselves and they know that they're probably never gonna get it. So having someone around them like that is enough for them. It's like, in a weird way, it's like them achieving their dream without actually achieving their dream. And so that's a perfect example of how you can gain other men's and overall people's respect by your fitness. Men with all the money in the world who are out of shape are going to look at you like you're the winner, while you're looking at them like they're the winner. And in reality, if I have to actually answer that question, honestly, I believe you are the winner if you're the one in shape. Because one, you're going to live longer, two, you're going to look better, and three, overall, you're just going to be noticed and like seen in a more respective light than those people. And that brings me to my fourth point: wearing clothes. You, as a man who is in good shape, can literally get away with wearing, not even get away with, you, in my opinion, you should be wearing the most basic fits. I don't know how many times I tell this. This goes for men and women. Women, if you have a nice body, men, if you have a good body, the body is the outfit. The body should be the outfit always. The clothes are not the outfit. The clothes are the accessories to make the outfit, which is the body, look good. So literally, someone who's wearing a designer fit, I don't know how many times this happened to me. Like, or actually, this happened to me once. I don't know how many times I've seen it happen, but here's the one instance with me. I have a friend who dresses really, he's into like rap. He's into like rap and stuff. So he dresses like a rapper. And pretty much, I have another friend who dresses, like a normal guy, but he's kind of out of shape. And I have another guy, who just, like I said, dresses normal too. But the guy in the like full-on $10,000 outfit shows up, and I work with these people, by the way, shows up one day, and the other two show up in their normal attire, like, usual, and they're like complimenting him, like, wow, like you really put that on, Mind you, this guy who's into the designer stuff, he's a little chubby, and he's like, yeah, like it's something light, like flexing on them. It was so stupid and weird. Anyway, I was like, whatever. So I show up to work in Adidas sweatpants, a black tank top, and a like bag, like one of those like tote bags, because I had all my stuff in it. And dude, for some reason, I don't know why the conversation steered in this direction, but dude starts rating everyone's like outfit. The dude who had like the $10,000 fit on starts rating everybody's outfit. I was like, kind of like my head, like that's weird. So dude looks at me and goes, yeah, like he starts rating everyone as like a 6 out of 10, like 7 out of 10. And I'm not gonna lie, these people have literally not better clothing on than me, but they have more clothing on me. Not only do they have better clothing, they have more clothing. I'm wearing a tank top, like they have a shirt that's more clothing than me. And dude looks at me and goes, yeah, your fit is like an 8 or like out of 10. And I'm like, why do I get rated higher than they do? And he's like, I don't know, there's just something about you and like the outfit that's like, it works, like it fits. And I'm like, it's just a black tank top with Adidas sweats. And he's like, yeah, but like the way you fill out the tank top and the way like you like your arms looking, like you just like not in like a weird way, but like like it looks right on you. It looks correct. And when he said it looks correct, that's when like a light bulb went off in my head. Being in shape is the universal hack for clothing and overall everything as a human being, but for clothing especially. You can go to Target right now and pick up some like $10 t-shirts and some black pants. They don't even gotta be jeans. You could put on like joggers, gray Nike sweats, black joggers. You can go out to the club in that outfit if you're like a dude who's like a good athletic shape, and you will look better than half the dudes in there who are like out of shape or overweight that are wearing like these fly outfits. They could be dressed to the T, and you will literally have women choosing you over them because of the fact that you're in shape. The body is the outfit, not the clothing. And when you get rich, you also start to realize, hey, not only do I look good in like these basic outfits, like I should be wearing these basic outfits, you save a lot of money on clothing. Simply because of the fact that like I wear very neutral earth tones. Like I wear black, I wear gray, I wear navy blue, I wear stuff like that. And like it just saves me so much money. Like I don't really gotta buy new clothes. Like every so often I'll wear out t-shirts and I'll buy new ones, and I'll wear out tank tops and I'll buy new ones. But it's like overall, I had dressed so cheap and I looked better than people who put so much thought, time, and effort into money into their outfits. And it's just like that's just overall, if that doesn't prove it to you, then I don't know what does. So if you're a dude, I highly suggest, not even no, if you're a human being who is out of shape or obese, I highly recommend getting in shape. And I know this sounds cliche, but getting in shape is the first step to making everything else in your life better. When you get in shape, it changes your body, but more importantly, it changes your mindset and overall confidence and the way you feel perceived by yourself, which then in chain reaction changes everything else in your life for the better.